I work hard to earn my pay, and I saved real big today at All-American Ford.
All right, so this is episode number 12 of the All-American Auto Mall in Old Bridge Updates podcast. I'm Jason Savino, the marketing director for the All-American Auto Group, and we've got a packed episode today, a lot to kind of go over, and then we have a special guest joining us. Her name is Virginia, and she is our performance specialist here at All-American Ford, and she's also known as Diesel Barbie on Instagram. So I'll bring her on in a little bit, but we could get into it. All right, so this month, just to give a shout out for a charity thing we're doing, we have a vendor here called Automotive Mastermind, and our rep at that company is named Brandon, and he kind of knew about our partnership with JAR of Hope and how we support them as a charity and how it's been kind of a tough year for them with COVID and raising funds and stuff. And so I guess through Automotive Mastermind, Brandon, they had to pick a charity, so they chose JAR of Hope, and their initiative was No Shave November. So shout out to Automotive Mastermind and our rep, Brandon. And it's been this fun thing where I guess they set up a GoFundMe for No Shave November. They posted pictures on November 1st of themselves, a couple staff members from Automotive Mastermind. And as a dealership, we got behind it, and me and my two brothers, and then a lot of our managers, and then even staff it trickled down to. Bunch of people got involved. I think we have over 15 people who are doing it in the sense that they shaved on November 1st or shaved on October 30th and haven't shaved since. So that's kind of the easy, simple premise of No Shave November. So you just don't shave. Pretty simple, right? So we've been doing it now. It's November 19th. So we've been doing it 19 days. I never grow a beard. I probably shave religiously every 2 to 3 days, sometimes 4, I guess. So 19 days is a little crazy for me. It's very itchy. I don't like it. Like I said, I don't grow beards because it's kind of a joke, and I can't grow an adult beard. It comes in kind of patchy and weird. But if you go on the All-American Ford in Old Bridge Facebook and Instagram page, you can see pictures of it. It's pretty funny, kind of the before and after picture so far, because we did a picture on November 1st as a team. You could see the post, and then at the halfway point, so earlier this week, I guess it was. And then we'll do one at the end, so it'll be interesting. So we're down in the home stretch now, and it is what it is. Not my favorite thing because of the beard, but it has raised a good amount of money. I think they were up to like $3,000. They had a goal of like $2,000. So nice chunk of change that they were able to raise. We had our staff members kind of donate, small amounts if we were participating. And then we kind of made a joke. Any manager who didn't want to participate, we kind of jokingly, made them donate a little bit if they were reluctant to grow a beard this month. So we had some fun with it here. Nice little team building thing. Check it out on Facebook. It's on our company pages, on my personal page. It's on the Brandon, our rep from Automotive Mastermind. You could find him from our Facebook page. So cool little charity thing we're doing there for JAR of Hope. All right, so speaking of JAR of Hope, I wanted to give a quick update on the Mustang raffle. So for a little bit of background, the All-American Auto Group donated this beautiful green 2020 Ford Mustang convertible with the blackout package. The green part is significant because it is very similar to the color of the JAR of Hope logo. In fact, Jim was here one day with one of his colleagues who he brought in to buy a vehicle from us. And they saw it on the showroom floor, and they were like, we have to do something that's a JAR of Hope Mustang. So kind of snowballed from there. We're trying to help out JAR of Hope during COVID. A lot of his events got canceled. So we decided to donate this Mustang fully to JAR of Hope. 100% of the proceeds for the raffle stay with JAR of Hope. We're not getting anything back. We fully donated the Mustang. So JAR of Hope was selling these $100 raffle tickets. It was online using a website called Rally Up, which, their main purpose, as they advertise themselves, is to help charities run raffles. Well, it turns out, and there is a video on our Facebook page, the All-American Ford and Old Bridge Facebook page, and the JAR of Hope Facebook page, where Jim Raffone, the founder and CEO of JAR of Hope, he kind of explains the update, and he can explain a lot better than me. He's also probably a little bit nicer about it because I'm a little bitter. But basically what happened is somebody who was jealous of the success of the raffle and how well Jim is able to come up with these ideas and fundraise for critical research to find this cure for this terminal children's disease. This horrible person reported the raffle to the Attorney General's office, knowing that I don't know how he knew it. I don't know if he got lawyers involved, but knowing somehow that there is this weird legislation or interpretation of a legislation that basically says that charities in New Jersey are not allowed to sell online raffle tickets. It was this law from like the 1950s, and apparently, which is before the internet was invented, which is the funny, comical part of all of this. And basically, the interpretation today from the Attorney General is that in the state of New Jersey, charities cannot sell raffle tickets online. So just a crazy story. And again, the video on Facebook, Jim kind of explains it better, but JAR of Hope has their gaming license and raffle license and stuff like that. They're obviously certified and registered 501c or 501c3 nonprofit, so they do everything by the book. And they had to get the gambling license because we held a poker tournament here in our showroom actually before COVID in January. So, and it's just weird that Rally Up, the website, didn't know the state laws of New Jersey and didn't really warn JAR of Hope about it either. But either way, it was just really sad and I think disgraceful that this human being, kind of reported this to the Attorney General to mess with the charity and, potentially stop fundraising for a charity. And not only against JAR of Hope, but this affects all charities in New Jersey, right? This is now opening up Rally Up to not being able to take potentially other New Jersey charities for raising raffle money online. So it's all New Jersey charities that this affects, and it's unfortunate it happened this way. But like Jim and JAR of Hope always do, and one of my favorite things about Jim is that, every negative, every road bump, every negative thing that's thrown his way, he does his best to turn into a positive and make it useful to other people and beneficial to other people. So he took this and, got local government involved. He's got a good relationship already with Congressman Chris Smith and some other local government officials here, that he's worked with over the years. And he is trying to get this legislation changed to help all charities in New Jersey be able to do fundraising online through raffle tickets, which now with COVID has become even more important. Obviously, moving in the future, a lot of things are going to go virtual, no matter what's happening in the world with COVID or not. So it's very important to get this changed. And so it's crazy how quick Jim kind of goes about things, and his persistent nature is just amazing. So, he did a video yesterday that, we posted on our dealership pages. He posted on his pages, basically him explaining this and how the raffle is going to be moved back to the end of December, and they're trying to get this legislation changed so that they could sell online tickets and keep the raffle going a little bit longer. So then today we actually got the great news. It came in late last night, actually. But we got the great news that Congressman Chris Smith drafted a letter to the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, and basically, asking for his assistance in this. And it's great. I saw a draft of the letter. I'm going to find out if I'm able to share it. But he mentions All American Ford in Old Bridge, which is pretty cool, and how we donated the vehicle. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Hope I could post about it. I'll find out. But then Jim did a video last night kind of getting excited about it, announcing it, thanking everybody who signed the petition, because there's an online petition on change.org to get this changed. And we still need people to sign that petition. So you could find that on our Facebook pages and even the jarofhope.org website. But at least it's moving now, with Chris Smith drafting this letter. and this proposal to change the legislation to Governor Murphy, that's going to move it along a little bit. We'll be looking forward to what the governor kind of says about that or does about it. And then, this petition's still out there. So we really need people to sign it. I would love if every listener could sign it, share it. It's got over 2,500 signatures, I believe, so far, and it recently started. So hopefully it keeps gaining steam, and hopefully the legislation changes. So, stay on top of our Facebook pages for updates on that Mustang raffle, especially if you bought a raffle ticket already. It's just getting extended a little bit, and we're just trying to sell some more tickets, or JAR of Hope is, to help them out. So that's kind of the update. So there's some videos on Facebook. Check them out, and we'll see where we're at next week. I'll kind of do an update each week if there's some new stuff related to it. And then just a real quick update, something pretty exciting for All American Auto Group. And I'll do a whole episode probably on Jimmie Allen. So Jimmie Allen is a country singer. Really great guy, very talented, puts on amazing performances. He was on the CMAs, I believe it was last week. He's actually doing something for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so we're looking forward to that. But basically, a very quick backstory, because like I said, I'll do a full episode kind of dedicated to the history behind it. But we hooked up with Jimmie Allen a couple years back. We built him a custom truck. It's this beautiful black and yellow Batman edition custom lifted truck, he calls it. And we built it for him, delivered it to his house in Nashville, kind of kept in touch. He posts about us on social every once in a while. He actually came to our dealership here in Old Bridge and did a military appreciation concert in our showroom last year. I guess it was March 2019 now. So that was fantastic. I'll talk more about that. And basically, this year he wanted another truck. So he wants a white and gold truck. And it's going to be the same thing, custom lifted, a lot of customizations, a lot of personalizations within it. It's going to be fantastic. We are in the process of building it now. I actually had a Zoom call with Jimmie the other day, and we kind of talked about the truck, and we're going to start to schedule a time to get it down to him. And then, we'll be able to kind of post more about it, going to have a lot of video content around it. So that's something really exciting. I kind of wanted to just put out there. I'll start to talk about it more each episode as we get closer to kind of finishing the truck and delivering it to Jimmie Allen. And then, he's definitely going to be posting about it too. So we're excited to see how this truck ends up. And I'll kind of keep everybody posted with the updates and our relationship overall with Jimmie Allen, because it's pretty exciting stuff. All right, so the last thing I wanted to discuss before we bring on our guest, Virginia, and I'll be talking about it more in the upcoming podcast as well, but today starts the Subaru Share the Love event. So it runs from November 19th today until January 4th, 2021. So it's the rest of the year, and then it spills a couple days into January. And it's probably the event and one of the reasons why I love Subaru so much as a manufacturer. They do so much to help out the local communities that their dealerships do business in. And they really help, especially with this event, to empower their dealerships to get involved with the community and, local charities and stuff like that. So basically what the Subaru Share the Love event is during these dates, which is now until January 4th, their Subaru of America as a manufacturer is going to donate $250 for every Subaru leased or purchased from a Subaru dealership. So any Subaru dealership that is participating in this, which, most of them do, and obviously we do every year. So $250 automatically donated to a charity of your choice, in the sense that they give 4 or 5 national charities to choose from, and then each dealership's hometown charity. So that $250, does not come out of the purchase of the vehicle or does not get added to the purchase price of the vehicle. It is just, whatever the selling price is or the lease monthly payments has nothing to do with anything. It's just that sold unit, according to Subaru, they, end up donating $250 because of that. So it's just a fantastic thing they do. And then because of my father and us as the Savino family and our business partners, the Selmans, we like to kind of do what Subaru wants each dealership to do. They kind of put in an added perk where the dealership could add funds to that as well per Subaru purchased or leased. So we do an extra $50. It was kind of just something we decided on to give back a little bit more. And that goes directly to our hometown charity. And then just last year is they've added a service component to it. So a few bucks get donated by us, by, All American Subaru and the Savino and Selman families, gets donated per Subaru serviced here at All American Subaru in Old Bridge. So a really cool opportunity to raise a lot of money for a hometown charity. And in the past, we've had, SRB Help Center in Freehold be a hometown charity of ours. We've raised tens of thousands of dollars for them. Each of the first 3 years, we had them as our hometown charity, going back a few years now. And that was when, their SRB Help Center was helping out families rebuild from Sandy and, providing some much needed stuff to some of those families that got displaced or lost their homes. So that was fantastic. And then we got connected with Camp Quality New Jersey, which was this amazing organization that provides really year-round support for families with children with cancer. So it's just this great organization, and it's called Camp Quality. I guess their main thing is that they throw like a week-long camp session to, get the kids to feel like they could be kids again. That's their motto. So great organization. They were our hometown charity the last few years. I think we raised probably over $100,000 for them over those, different Subaru Share the Love events. So they were a great partner and still remain very close with us. And we try and continue to help them out. And this year, it's no surprise, but JAR of Hope is our main and only hometown charity for Subaru Share the Love. Again, we've become very close with Jim Raffone, really trying to help them out during COVID. He needs the fundraising to continue some of these great treatments and research they're doing to find a cure for this disease. So they're a hometown charity for Subaru Share the Love. Really hope we could raise, upwards of $50,000 for him and for JAR of Hope. So if you're even considering purchasing a Subaru, definitely highly recommend, you come in here to All American Subaru in Old Bridge and support our hometown charity, JAR of Hope. It's a great cause, and I'll be talking about it more in the upcoming episodes. All right, so we're here with our guest, Virginia, a.k.a. Diesel Barbie. She is All American Ford in Old Bridge's performance specialist. And welcome to the podcast, and we'll get started. So tell us about how you got hired here.
So it's funny. My boyfriend actually knew I was looking for a job and I wanted to get out where I was. And he's like, well, let's go back to the dealership I used to be a mechanic at. We'll go see Frankie. Maybe he'll give you a job. So went out on a whim and came in, talked to Frankie, and he hired me originally as a receptionist. I worked there for a few months and then moved to BDC, which I loved so much more than reception. And then from BDC, I now do the performance aspect, and that is probably my most favorite position and favorite job that I have here.
Nice. So I remember you started as a receptionist, and it's company policy here for new hires to get walked around to all of the other managers, as an introduction. So I remember I had walked down probably your first day. I saw you at reception. I asked some of the managers who the new hire was. They explained to me it was Virginia. She's going to be our receptionist now. And then I'd say a few days later, maybe a week later, one of our salespeople comes up to me and says something like, do you know who that is? And I said, yeah, that's Virginia, our new receptionist. And he said, no, that's Diesel Barbie from Instagram. And I had no idea what that meant, had not followed you or anything like that. And so we instantly looked at your profile. We saw it was, over 50,000 followers and that you were a bona fide Instagram influencer. And then I proceeded to, I believe, yell at that salesperson and all the managers and nobody for telling me, the marketing director, that we had an amazing social media superstar that we had just hired. So tell us a little bit about Diesel Barbie, the account, the name, everything, kind of how it started.
So it started many years ago, way before I actually even had a diesel truck. And I definitely got my fair share of being called out for that. But where it came from, my best friend, who unfortunately passed away about 10 years ago, her mom used to call her doll, and then she would call me Barbie. So we would be Barbie doll, and it'd be us two together. We grew up riding horses. So when she passed, we still reference that, but it stuck with me. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to sound generic and just make my Instagram something Barbie. I was like, all right, let me tie my favorite world into it. And diesel trucks are what I love, and it's my passion. I was like, all right, we'll do the best of both worlds. We'll do diesel and Barbie, and then it was formed. But like I said, I had that name before my truck was even a diesel, and people did not appreciate it.
That's really great. So tell us a little bit about the diesel part of it. So the diesel truck and, how you're in the shop building the engine and stuff like that.
That has been my baby since I was 15 years old. It was my first truck I bought, and I knew that day one I wanted a Ford, and there was no changing that, but I love the older body styles, and also at 15 I couldn't afford a brand new truck. So I bought it. It was just a regular gas F-150. I knew I had big plans, so as the years went on, I saved up more and learned more to do the swap that I did in it. I completed that 2 years ago and then decided, yeah, we're going to redo this again. So I took it back apart, and now it's every day, go to work, get home from work, change out of work clothes, get into shop clothes, and then I'm in the garage until like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and just trying to get it all back together to get my baby back on the road.
That's awesome. Also sounds very exhausting.
Yes.
But how did you learn some of the shop stuff and some of the stuff about an engine? Like I joke all the time here when people ask me about you, I say she literally knows more about trucks than I do. Like if me and you were both to look at an engine or open up a diesel truck, you would 110% know more about it than me. So how did that kind of start? Where did you learn that from or pick it up from?
So growing up, and it's always been a big joke in my family. When I was born, I came home in a 1996 Ford OBS.
Nice.
So that's how I came home from the hospital. And I swear from day one, I just knew it was meant for me. But growing up, I was always outside or in the shop with my dad. He always used to tinker on different things. And he had a truck that he built. So, picking up little things from him. I have a lot of great friends in the industry that have taught me so much. And honestly, YouTube is a great thing. If I'm ever stuck, I just quickly look at my phone and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But definitely how I was brought up, I just was more into being outside or being in the garage, trying to take things apart and put them back together. And that's where I'm at now, taking things apart really easily, putting it back together, no motivation, but we're getting there. But definitely my father was a big influence on that. And just having wonderful friends that want to support me along the way to keep me going and give me information when I get stuck.
Very cool. So I know on Instagram, a big part of it for you is kind of these truck shows, and that's a passion of yours and something you enjoy. You want to talk about that? Maybe the coolest truck show you've ever been to?
Absolutely. And I've been so incredibly lucky to work with so many amazing companies and brands. My most favorite event that I still think of to this day that I will probably never match it. I went out to California for a company called Performance Diesel, and they had their own event. It was called Dyno Night, and it was just an experience. I've never seen people that were just very passionate, and they're so incredibly intelligent with what they do. So they can build these trucks, and they're not afraid of anything breaking. So they will go full out, no cares. And for the first time in my life, I've watched people do burnouts. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And then they get in their trucks and they do like a 6-minute burnout. And I'm like, I don't understand how your truck is still running, how it's not melted yet. It's insane. And, the whole entire night, I just expected, okay, truck show, a few burnouts. No, we got the truck show, we got the burnouts. Then people are bringing crazy things out and climbing over cars. And I'm like, what is going on? It was just full of surprises and one of the most rowdiest experiences I've ever had, and it's definitely up there. It's the best show I've ever been to, but it's definitely up there with one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. But that is not every show. That was probably once in a lifetime. But even other shows, just the best part is meeting new people and like making new connections. And it might sound cheesy, but like finally seeing people that you're friends with online in person and like, oh, I can finally see you and give you a hug.
Yeah, because it's kind of a big community, right? So you probably follow all the big people, they follow you, and then when you get to those shows, it's probably the first time you're actually meeting in person a lot of the time.
And it's insane. I mean, there's two girls that stick out to me most. Lacey, who lives in Texas, I finally got to meet her this year. And Jordan, who lives in Florida, and it's just really incredible to finally put a face to everything and actually get to communicate them instead of DMing them. So it's nice.
So with these truck shows, how often do you bring your own car and do you enter into competitions, or do you always go kind of as a spectator and fan?
Before I took my truck apart, any show that I attended, my truck was there with me. Recently, with the rebuild going on and not being able to drive it, it's been either I'm a spectator or I'm going to work with a company. My plans are to have the truck done this upcoming show season, which if she has to be trailered to Texas, we will be in Texas with it. So there will be no holding back this upcoming show season, and I intend to have her at every show.
Okay, so you talked about the Dyno Night as being one of the craziest ones you've been to. What's the craziest thing you've seen at a different truck show?
I think I'm going to have to revert back to that show. I mean, so I baby my truck. It is what everyone would call a pavement princess. It does not go anywhere but on solid ground and not get dirty. And don't get me wrong, these gentlemen have beautiful trucks as well that they've put a lot of time and money into, but they also know what they're doing. So they are so confident in what they've done and the work they've done that they can get out there and go do anything they want. And so, like I said, about the 6-minute burnout, first off, I would never even fathom that could happen, but I witnessed it. So the whole, almost in a sense, not caring because we can fix it. We can make everything better. We'll just do whatever we want. I wish I could live that way. I don't have the finances to be able to just do whatever I want like that, which is why it's a pavement princess. But just witnessing no cares in a sense was the craziest thing. And just
letting it all out there.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you find at the shows with other females? Are there a lot of them? Are you guys really in the minority at some of these shows? In my opinion, we definitely are the minorities, but it's really incredible. And I've been very lucky that this year, speaking to these girls more, even if it's through social media, they are so supportive. I finally have found a group who share the same passion, are equally as hardworking and wonderful, and just we all support each other. And it's truly incredible that even though we're a small group, we got each other's back. Nice. What is your favorite part of coming to All American Ford each day? Besides walking in with your Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Every morning. It's honestly, it's something new every day. And whether it's meeting new people, even if it's just customers and, helping them out, it's really great as long as they're nice. Getting to see all the new vehicles. It was really cool. We had the week where the Mach-E came in and the Bronco came in the same week. And that was really exciting because no one else has seen them yet, but I have now. And just getting to educate others and learn from others while I'm here every day. So it's always a learning experience and something new. And I find that exciting because it keeps me on my toes. So I'm excited to walk into work.
That's always a good thing. What's in your opinion, the most excited or the most exciting vehicle you've seen here?
It's going to have to be one of the higher performance vehicles. The Shelbys are incredible beasts. Driving them is a lot of fun. I enjoy... I'm going to have to go with the Shelby truck.
The Shelby truck's your favorite?
Yeah. The Super Snakes also hold a place in my heart. They're wonderful.
And you visited our Paramus dealership, which has 3 Ford GT supercars right now. And you did a little photo shoot up there for Instagram and TikTok. It's got a lot of attention and everything. Which one of those 3 was your favorite? We have a black and a red one, a red and a white one, and then what's the other one? A yellow and black?
Mm-hmm. Definitely the black and red one.
Black and red? Okay.
He told me I could sit in it, and I said, that's dangerous, because if I find out how to get it going, I might take it. So the black and red one definitely is my aesthetic and what I would love to have. So if we can't sell it, take it.
We definitely will. It's gotten a lot of attention, and for all the listeners out there, that black and red one is the one that is available for purchase. The other two won't be available until later next year. You could see all the videos and all of the information about it on our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, Diesel Barbie's Instagram. And on our website, you get more information about it. It is a 2018 Ford GT Dark Energy Edition. That's the black and red one that we're talking about here. So anything else that you want to add or chime in with?
I think that covers a lot of it.
Are you starting your own podcast?
I want to start my own podcast, just getting it all together and figuring out what I'm going to talk about, because my brain goes from, oh, this would be great, to 50 other things that'd be great. So I would like to have it settled on one thing we could talk about and just branch off of that. But I know with how my brain works, we're going to be talking about trucks one day, and then I don't know, a different mascara the next day. My brain's everywhere. So it'll be an interesting, maybe like a vlog type podcast. So a day in the life of what goes on in my brain.
Very cool. All right. So we'll keep everybody updated on that. And thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
All right. And then the last thing we do with our episodes, have a little fun with some NFL picks. The season is coming along nice so far for a lot of teams. A lot of teams are suffering, though. We've had a pretty steady run. I'd say I go 2-1. I do 3-tier levels of picks related to Ford vehicles. So I have my Shelby F-150 tier as the highest confidence level pick, the Explorer tier as my middle confidence level pick, EcoSport tier, my lowest confidence in pick. I've been going 2-1 for a while now. A couple 1 and 2 weeks mixed in. Haven't gotten to a 3-0 week yet. Last week I went 2-1. I won the Shelby F-150 pick, lost the Explorer, the middle pick, and I won the EcoSport pick. So I'm 8-12 on the season. It's against the spread, so nice winning percentage there. So for this week's picks, my Shelby F-150 confidence level pick of the week is the Miami Dolphins, giving a field goal against the Broncos. My Explorer pick of the week is the Bengals getting a couple points against the Washington football team. And then my EcoSport pick of the week is the Packers getting almost a field goal now against the Indianapolis Colts. So those are my picks. Hope you enjoyed the episode. There was a lot. Definitely follow our social media pages. Visit our websites. You can find all this information. I talked a lot about the 2 Facebook pages and information you can find on those. All-American Ford in Old Bridge and All-American Subaru in Old Bridge. And you can find all of this in one spot on our site for our auto mall here, which is oldbridgeautomall.com. Thanks, and I'll be back next week.
Well, everyone can afford an all-American